Hey there, class. Take a look at chapter 34, verses 5 through 7 with me. And it says, Then the Lord came down in the cloud and stood there with him and proclaimed his name, the Lord. And he passed in front of Moses proclaiming, the Lord, the compassionate and gracious God, slow to anger, abounding in love and faithfulness, maintaining love to the thousands, and forgiven wickedness, rebellion to sin. Yet he does not leave the guilty unpunished. He punishes the children and their children for the sin of their parents to the third and fourth generation. What I believe God is saying to us through these verses is that most people live their lives through a series of rituals in terms of the first commandments that we saw delivered to Moses in chapter 19. And God had told everyone what to do and how to do it from 1 through 10. But I think what we're seeing in this verse is God showing the true character of who he is. So not only that are we leaning more towards just following the rituals and the things that he's called us to do, he's also teaching us and allowing us to understand his true character. And I think that's what he's displaying to us here is his true character. The text is challenging to us because it moves us to a way of I want to say, true worship. Not true worship in the sense of doing all the things the right way in which we most time people think that they're doing, but in terms of worshiping a true God and a God that we understand is passionate to us, is gracious to us, abounding in love, doesn't forget our sins, the guilty will not go unpunished, and those type of things. We start to understand and be able to love God for who he is instead of someone that just hands us down rules. I think our lives are impacted when we do this because we live a life of freedom. We understand that God loves us. We understand that God is there for us. We understand that he sees the then, the now, and he also sees the future and the past and all those things above. And that's just the type of God he is. And through this text, we've learned that he not only said, all right, this is the routine that I want you guys to follow to be in true obedience to me in terms of what you're capable of doing, but what you aren't. What I also want you to understand is the true character of who I am and my being. And that's what we learn. I think in the end, our lives are impacted more because now I understand that my God is gracious. I understand that he's compassionate. I also understand that my sins will not go unpunished and that it can reach as far as to the fourth generation. That's what we learn in this text as well. I think it's an excellent illustration of moving from the self-righteous behavior of being able to do things the way we think is right, opposed to the way that God feels is right. And that's in true obedience to who he is. God bless. See you soon. Bye-bye.